In the Season 6 finale, Queen Daenerys Targaryen breaks up with her lover Danaerys, claiming that she needs to be available to create a political alliance through marriage. So let's look at the contenders for the Dragon Queen's hand. As it happens, all the rulers of Westeros are currently single. The 7 kingdoms consist of 9 regions south of the Wall, so let's go through them. The southernmost kingdom is Dorne, ruled from Sunspear, traditionally by House Martell. In the show, House Martell has been wiped out, and the kingdom is currently ruled by Ellaria Sand and her former lover Prince Oberyn's daughters, known as the Sand Snakes. In the books, Princess Arianne Martell will come to power after her father's death, and will likely declare for someone other than Daenerys. In the show, however, Dorne is already declared for Queen Daenerys, so there is no need for a political alliance through marriage. The next kingdom to look at is the Reach, ruled from Highgarden, traditionally by House Tyrell. In the show, House Tyrell has also been wiped out, and the Reach is now ruled by the Queen of Thorns. After her demise, the Reach will likely pass to another major house in the kingdom. The big contenders are the Hightowers of Old Town, the Tarleys of Horn Hill, and the Redwynes of the Arbor. Show watchers have probably never heard of the House Redwyne, but are very familiar with its most famous member. In the books, House Tyrell is in no danger of dying out. Loras and Margaery have 2 brothers, and multitudes of cousins, aunts, and uncles that make House Tyrell the largest house in the 7 kingdoms. House Tyrell is also likely to back someone other than Daenerys in the books. In the show, however, Lady Olenna has pledged the Tyrell army and the Redwyne navy to Queen Daenerys, so there is no need for a political alliance through marriage with this kingdom either. Next we have the Stormlands, ruled from Storm's End, and at one point Dragonstone. The Stormlands are traditionally ruled by House Baratheon, which again has been wiped out. It is unclear who rules the Stormlands currently, and hopefully Edric Storm or his show counterpart, Gendry, will eventually come back to rule it. But for now, the Stormlands are likely behind Queen Cersei Lannister. The Westerlands, ruled from Casterly Rock, and the Crownlands, ruled from King's Landing, are also firmly behind Queen Cersei Lannister. Single, and the ruler of 3 regions, Cersei is a viable option, especially given both Daenerys and Cersei's proclivities in the books. But this marriage is very unlikely to happen. Tyrion isn't likely to counsel a marriage with Cersei for a number of reasons. The Mad Queen is also despised by the people, and Daenerys could quickly gain the support of the Stormlands and the Crownlands because of this. To gain the Westerlands, Daenerys would need to find a Lannister who supports her claim, and make him Lord of Casterly Rock, his birthright and everything he's ever wanted, serving as Lord of Casterly Rock, and his hand under both Targaryen and Lannister rulers, just as his father did. His real father, in case I'm being too subtle. So there is no need for Daenerys to marry Cersei. The Mother of Dragons can gain her kingdoms through other means, but not easily. Cersei is not going down without a fight. The next region to look at is the Iron Islands, ruled from Pike, traditionally by House Greyjoy. The ruler of the Iron Islands, King Euron Greyjoy, is not only single, but intends to marry Daenerys. Adding the Iron Fleet to the Redwyne Fleet and the Fleet of Dragon's Bay would make Daenerys an unstoppable force at sea, not only in Westeros, but in Essos as well. This marriage will not happen though, at least not in the show. The books are a different story. But in the show, Daenerys has promised the Iron Islands to Queen Yara Greyjoy. Daenerys could technically marry Queen Yara, or her brother Theon, but as the point of a political marriage is to have an heir both houses can back, neither of these marriages will happen as neither Theon nor his sister are capable of giving Daenerys an heir. The next kingdom to look at is the Riverlands, ruled from Riverrun, traditionally by House Tully. House Tully has fallen from power, and although they are likely to regain power in the books under the Blackfish, this is no longer an option in the show. In the show, the Riverlands are ruled from the twins under House Frey. It is unlikely that any member of House Frey will make it to the opening credits of Season 7, So the Lannisters must place a new Lord Paramount of the Riverlands. Someone they know can defend the kingdom, so they don't have to come in and take it back every episode. Someone they have promised 2 castles. The future Lord Paramount of the Riverlands is a possible match for Daenerys Targaryen. However, this marriage is also not necessary. Bronn's not fool enough to fight against dragons. For this reason, he would have no incentive to betray his friend again, and would likely use the chaos in the Riverlands as an excuse not to join the fight. In the books, the Riverlands isn't ruled from the twins, but from Harrenhal, and the Lord of Harrenhal is someone we will talk about briefly. The next kingdom to look at is the Vale in the Mountain, ruled from the Eyrie, traditionally by House Arryn. The little Lord of the Eyrie is too young for marriage, and isn't likely to survive the series. The true ruler of the Vale, Littlefinger, intends to kill him, and make his potential bride the heir to the Vale and the North. With 3 kingdoms under him, Lord Peter Baelish of Harrenhal would be the ideal match for a political marriage. But this is only in the books. The Riverlands were given to House Frey in the show, and will likely pass to Bronn as stated previously. Lord Royce is more likely to inherit the Vale than Lady Sansa, and Lady Sansa Stark of Winterfell does not have the North. Varys would not counsel Daenerys to marry Littlefinger, and in his bid to make Sansa Wardeness of the North, Peter Baelish has already pledged the armies of the Vale to another, the White Wolf. From Winterfell, the new king of the North rules the north end of Vale of Arryn. Jon Snow is the only option left for Daenerys' hand. The match could easily be made, given the relationship both the Lady of Winterfell and the King of the North have with Dany's hand of the Queen. This marriage is obviously ideal going into the endgame, and the 2 character storylines have paralleled each other quite a bit. Both lost their mothers in childbirth. Both had that one advisor that was trying to sleep with them day 1. And both banished that advisor for understandable reasons when the penalty of their crimes was death. Both feel somewhat responsible for the death of a significant other. Both were held captive by a so-called savage people, and ended up ruling them and making them some of their most loyal followers. They are also both Targaryens, and their union will be one of ice and fire. So things are shaping out just as I predicted in my bittersweet ending video, with a likely marriage between Jon and Daenerys coming, and Tyrion Lannister already becoming Hand. With 13 episodes left, things are about to get very, very interesting.